friends. Forgive me, I'm trying to find a proper upload schedule, but I try to record on days where I know I'm going to be alone, because it's really awkward for me to talk to y'all when someone else can hear me on the other side of the wall. Yeah, and I'm going to leave it at that. It's going to make sense to you by the end of this video. Last year in October, I was staying in a 2-bedroom apartment. I was sharing with my ex. He had moved out way before October. But I had challenged myself in September and October that I would manifest a way to live in my own apartment. Now, before you judge me, I know that was a stupid thing to do. But I wanted to take that leap of faith in myself. And you're going to hear a lot of things in this story that go against common sense. I know. The logical Virgo inside of me that wants to feel safety and comfort was giving me hell. But I didn't want to do things the same way anymore. If I was going to study and talk about metaphysics and spirituality, I was not going to just talk about it. I was going to be about it. So that's what I did. Okay. I do not advise for other people to do the same thing. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, so October was the end of my lease, and basically, long story short, it came down to the wire. The last day of my lease, I had all of my stuff still in my apartment. Let's say my last day was the 29th of October, right? All of my stuff was still in there, and I needed to be gone by 9 in the morning on October 30th, and I had no idea where I was going. The most I had done was moved my mattress and my sofa into a storage, and I had just enough money to do that. Now, it wasn't my intention for things to work out this way, obviously, when I made this decision for myself in September, but even though I felt time ticking away and the weeks steadily going by, and by the time I got to October, I told myself I'm not going to give up. You know, I'm going to see this through, and I'm going to get what I want, and I'm going to have somewhere safe to sleep, and I'm going to have my own apartment, right? So when it's October 29th on the last day and that still did not happen, I am freaking out, but I just keep telling myself that it's going to work out for me. I'm not going to be homeless, and I'm going to be all right. Hours are going by on the 29th, and by the time I look up, it's like 8 p.m. and I gotta be out in less than 12 hours at this point, and I'm crying and I'm freaking out. My dad lives in the same city as me with my little brothers and my stepmom, but they have just enough rooms for like one person, and I didn't want to bring myself to say I need help and can I move back in with y'all, because one stupid thing like shame. I was ashamed because I had already built up this life for myself where I was living on my own, and I was a functioning adult, so I didn't want to admit that this was the position I was in. I sure as hell didn't want to explain how I got in this situation, because I tried to manifest myself into a new apartment. My dad would freaking kill me. He wouldn't kill me, but my God, it would not be a good look for me. Like I said before earlier in the video, it wasn't the smartest choice, but it was the choice that I made, and I'm just sharing y'all. I'm just sharing y'all my experience, right? So 9 o'clock goes by. Keep in mind that throughout the day, earlier in the day, I had realized, okay, maybe I should get on Craigslist and post an ad stating that I need somewhere to stay for free and without any creepy shit expected in return. Now, if y'all are familiar with Craigslist, y'all know Craigslist is grimy AF. And it should not be a surprise that I got many, many, many messages that day offering me a place to stay, but it was in exchange for something that I didn't want to give up. I literally had a nudist message me, and he was like, oh, just because I'm a nudist doesn't mean you need to be a nudist. I respect your space, and, you don't have to be nude. Man sent me a video of the room I would be staying in, and he walked by a mirror, and he was butt-ass naked, and I was just like, God, I don't let it go down like this. This cannot be what is in store for me, right? So that was the one little tidbit I forgot to mention, that whole day I had been getting messages like that, and I still had to keep the mental fortitude of I am a goddess and I get what I want and I can manifest this, right? 10 o'clock, it's like 10:30 at night. Still got all this stuff in my apartment. And I'm losing hope real quick. I'm like, I'm about to end up on the street with all my stuff with nowhere to go because I still haven't found somewhere to be. But I kept telling myself, I switched my affirmation from, I'm going to have my own apartment. I switched it to, I am sleeping somewhere where I am safe and I have my own room. And I just kept telling myself, I'm going to be safe and I have my own room. Safe, have my own room. So out of desperation, I was like, maybe there's like an email I missed from somebody. Lo and behold, somehow I missed this email from this guy. We'll call him Will. Will emails me and he's like, hey, I've helped many of people in your situation, and I know how creepy Craigslist can be. I know with you being a young woman, it's hard out here. We can talk about it. Just give me a call. Here's my number. And at that point, I'm like, oh my God, like, I need to call this person because I'm running out of options here. I call him, he doesn't answer. It ends up being like midnight, and I'm just crying, still packing up stuff, just saying to myself, I am gonna end up in a safe place with my own room. Will finally calls me back at like 12:30, 12:45, midnight. It is late. I am running on fumes because I have been packing all day. I had to move that sofa. Like, I literally have been moving nonstop all day. And I talked to him, and he's kind, and he's super nice, and I immediately felt a sense of, like, safety with Will, and just hearing the way he spoke and hearing about the people that he's helped. Like, he legit stays up late at night because he's made friends with homeless people to make sure that they're safe when, it was wintertime, or, he's just a great guy, right? And he tells me that he lives in a 1-bedroom apartment, but he doesn't sleep in the 1-bedroom for reasons, and that he would like to give it to me, and that there's no pressure for anything. He just wants to see me back on my feet. And bless this man, he also helped to move me out my apartment. And so me and Will Will doesn't come until maybe like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm steady at this point. I'm throwing stuff away, right? So he comes over at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we literally haul ass until 7 in the morning. Still not done at that time, but he has to stop because he has a meeting that he has to attend at like 8. There's still stuff to move out of my apartment. So I'm taking my own car, going back and forth, filling it up. I kid you not. I made it out of the leasing office opened at 9 o'clock in the morning. I finally got everything out at 9:15. And I remember on that last load, I went to Chick-fil-A. Because, god damn it, I had a long day and I wanted a Chick-fil-A biscuit with hash browns and a lemonade. And that's what I got. And I sat there and ate that Chick-fil-A in my car. I went through the drive-thru, car just full of stuff. Just from the back seat to the passenger seat. And only the driver's seat was clear. And I sat in the parking lot and I ate. And I cried. And it was just an emotionally exhausting day, but I manifested a place where I had my own bedroom, I had my own space, I felt safe, and I was also affirming that I would live somewhere where I wouldn't be pressured to automatically go run out and get a job. I was affirming for that, and that has also been the case for me. So I ended up having to leave while I was recording that session, but I just wanted to end this with a couple things that I've learned. So you could have watched that video and have been thinking things like she literally didn't need to go through all of that. If she would have just got a job, if she would have just planned a little better, she made this unnecessarily hard on herself. And I want you to understand that, one, I agree with you, and two, um, the whole point was to push myself and what I know about manifestation, because I can read about it all day. I can manifest little things all day, but I wanted to test myself on the things that matter, and I wanted to go all or nothing. And nothing about manifestation or spirituality makes common sense. Not everything, but a good portion of it isn't about relying on your common sense, right? It might seem like a failure, and I honestly can understand why somebody could see it that way. But to me, it wasn't. Because those three little requirements, I managed to manifest it on my time, which means that it's possible to manifest other things on my time. And keep in mind, to manifest what I did, my vibration wasn't perfect like some people tell you that it has to be. I was full of fear. I was full of negative thoughts, but I held on to the notion throughout all of that it's gonna work out for me. And so for me, I literally treat this like an experiment, and that experiment gave me valuable notes and data to move on with the future, and it has helped me. At the end of the day, we're all just scientists, whether we realize it or not. We're all just trying to figure out what works best for us and how we want to move through life. And I've just decided for myself whether it's the easy or the hard way, I'm gonna get what I want because I'm hard-headed like that. Once I figure out what works for me, right? Because we're all living in our own different realities, the multiverse of madness, I'm gonna share it with you. And maybe it'll help you too. So, yeah, that's my story on that one manifestation. If you'd like to hear another story, let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.